There's a store right here that I can get you back. Alright, the people in prison left. They took the chopper.
So how does this so-called prison thing work?
For this place?
Yeah.
Alright, I got enough. I can get you back. And then grab this armor right here.
Body armor.
And make sure you put body armor on.
Okay.
This prison thing doesn't matter. It's just a location.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was like, I didn't know what you were trying to collect there.
I was just trying to go somewhere to collect more money so I can get you back.
Okay, so how do I know? Oh, okay, it spawns me right above you. Nice.
Yeah. So we have time to loot this. Loot it up and try to get some good guns. But definitely come over here and grab this body armor. And there is a gun here too.
I've got an SMG.
I'm coming down now.
Body armor.
Don't forget the parachute.
Oh, I did. I did this time. Trust me.
You don't have to do it so early, but there's a gun in here.
Oh. They're outside the wall. We're fine. They're outside. Alright, let me grab this stuff. How do I put armor on? Oh, I see it.
Hold wide. Hold wide.
Got it. Okay, was there anything else? No, all empty.
Hey, you typically here's a pretty good
I've
gun.
got an SMG.
Green.
Thanks, bro.
You
MP7.
know, like green, then blue, then
Yeah, what we got? Green, blue, purple, yellow. Okay.
Yep. All that shit. So, you can buy stuff at the store if you get money, which the store is right over there where I bought you back.
Yeah. All right. How do we look in terms of like
Hey, there's stuff up here.
Okay, yeah. So we're right at the border. I see it.
Here's some more
Body armor.
armor plates. Go ahead and pick this armor plates up.
Body armor.
All right, let me come get it real quick.
Oh shit! Can you pick me up?
Yeah, what you do?
I was
Deep
trying to
breath,
get on
you'll
the
be
ladder,
okay.
and I didn't realize you can't go down that way.
Yeah.
Go to the top and grab those armor plates up there.
Up here, the ladder.
Yeah.
Loadout drop inbound.
Where are you going? No, over here. This ladder. That's fine. I'm just gonna grab them again.
Okay. What's this shop icon thingy?
Gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Huh?
Like the shopping cart thing. Like what is that? What is that all about?
That's where you buy
Enemy
shit.
personal radar in the air.
Like if you have good enough money, you can buy shit there.
Oh, okay.
Alright, now we're no longer in the circle, so we're gonna have to move.
Gotcha.
You really should play the tutorial. There's a tutorial.
Yeah, no, I should have, but I didn't think we were doing Warzone. I'm thinking, okay, you know, never played Warzone.
Alright, I'm gonna hit the store and then we gotta go.
Okay. Oh, okay, so we can keep parachuting even though, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's infinite, like we don't run out or anything?
Enemy UAV overhead.
Yeah. Alright, we gotta go. Let's get in the vehicle.
All right, let's go.
I'll drive.
Come on, we gotta go,
I didn't know which way'd you go. Hold on. Oh shoot, there we go. All right, go, go, go. Wait, how did I get on this side?
Yeah,
The inside of the car actually looks pretty good. Your shirt moves, your pants is moving. Wow, look at that detail, bro. Wow.
You can get a custom loadout. if you want.
I could?
Hurry up.
Oh. Oh, sweet. How do I do this?
Just pick up one of your custom loadouts that you have.
Screw it. I'll just go this one, I guess. I'll go with the PKM. It doesn't let you pick all of them?
I'll drive.
No, just one. Come on. It's the only way to get perks.
I'll ride on.
Oh, okay. Oh, doesn't really give. What is that? A chopper up there?
It might be.
being shot at?
No. I'm gonna pull in here.
Holy shit, we're lagging.
Not looted. There's a crate nearby. I can hear it.
Oh, okay. So we got the little crate now. Ooh, found bullets.
The crates
Sweet.
are- Yeah, I'm lagging a
There's,
little bit.
yeah, there's some people down in the city, but at least we're in the ring thingy. Was this part of the campaign?
Claymore set.
Yeah, you gotta keep looting and try to grab money. Every time you open a crate, there's money. And there's armor plates up here if you need some.
I'm coming.
I'm max.
So how many can we oh, I'm max too. Oh, but we can carry
Yeah, you
extra?
can hold 5. 5,
Okay.
up to 5, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You can carry 3 on your person and 5 in your backpack.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna hit the roof and see if there's anything up there.
Hey, what's up, Jay? What's going on, man? How are you guys? Thank you so much for coming in. All right, let's figure this one out. All right. Everybody want to do my first game of Warzone here with Young Daddy 666. Unbelievable, Young Daddy. Teach me the ropes, bro. You must give me the guidance. You must carry me. Now, I like that we got parachutes, though. That's really nice. Oh, I see the gas.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like somebody blew a big giant fart. Where are we going? All right, let's see. So we got...
Alright, we gotta go further into the circle. I'm gonna go get this contract over here. This little microphone glass I'm going towards is a contract. It's up there. I'm not gonna be able to get
Not gonna
that.
be able to get it? The ladder? Oh, yeah, that'll take too long. Okay.
No, it's in the ladder. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just get back to. We can actually run it.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, I heard a lot of gunshots out this way, bro, so be careful. Especially the city. I got a PKM, bro. Not the best gun in the world, but...
How do you have 0 money?
I got 0 money?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. How do I get money? I haven't seen anybody yet.
By looting.
Oh, wait, I hear a chest.
Yeah, it's up on top.
Yeah, you're right.
You can hear this chest in here. So you'll auto pick up the big stuff, or the stuff that your guy will use, and then you'll have to pick up like individual items if it's better.
Run. Get to the zone.
Okay. All right, we got 23 people left.
If you double click,
Being very cheap. Yeah. Okay. Jay, did you want to get in with us, bro?
Right here if you want to stop.
Found a vendor. Get
Yeah, but I don't got that much money. I only got like $500, bro. What can I get with that? Anything good? Watch the stadium.
Pretty much nothing now.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. Let us go. First round anyway, man. I'm just getting to adjust some things.
And what you need to get used to is firefighting.
I do.
Fighting, because you're gonna die quick. Alright, there's a flare up top there. All the way across, straight ahead and due north. You see that flare? I mean, somebody just spawned there.
Shoot.
Kind of like the way we're going, so.
Yeah. Careful. They're gonna be northwest. They're gonna be 333. Man, this is all wide open and land, bro. I wish I had a sniper right now. But at least we're in the ring. So I did watch a little preview how people play this.
Okay, we got shots. Watch it, they're shooting us.
Oh.
Get down the valley. Sniper.
Let's move it around.
For the best. Yep.
Gas is moving in. Use safe zone located.
Go.
Oh, actually, we're heading towards the ring anyway, so...
know. Just watch it though, cause he's just.
How we look on the left?
I'm up a little bit.
How am I getting Oh, yeah, don't
All right.
yeah.
Sound like they're in another fight.
All right, so we got to be careful here. Be very cautious. Just glad that the game's actually working, bro. Last night I tried to play, it just wasn't working. What's wrong with this tree, bro?
Just speaking. All right, let's go.
Shoot. How do I take out my handgun? Oh, we can't.
I see movement.
How'd you mark that?
Gas is moving.
Oh, yeah, we got a parachute.
Up on the D-pad to mark 1, double tap it, it'd be enemies, just like Apex.
Claymore set.
We have shots to our left.
Get to
Get
the
inside this house over here.
On the bridge.
Fuck. Fuck, the house is not safe either. Get
Nope,
right.
nope. There's gunshots in the house.
Objective updated. Secure that
Get over here.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Do that. Alright, let's go.
Claymore set.
You guys secure that location.
Yeah, it's dangerous over there, bro. There's only 15 left. 13 technically, counting us. There's a vehicle up there. No, car's coming behind you, bro. What is that?
Yeah, is that ATV? Come on, go, go, go.
They're coming at you. They're coming at you. Oh, wait.
Driving. On y va.
Go, 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 go. Oh! Oh, I can't aim that far? Oh, my character fell out. Seriously? Wow. Stupid guy. Stupid. Don't worry about me. Stay alive.
I'm here. Get ready to move.
Get the hell out of here.
gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Yeah, they were shooting at me, bro. I was trying to shoot.
Get out. Alright, we gotta secure this location. We'll get some good money this way.
Yeah, I need, let me get some put some shields on.
I have somebody near me.
I'm coming, I'm coming. Where you at?
Watch it.
25 are left. Stay sharp out there.
Shut the door behind you.
Recon intel secured. Solid.
Sweet. Oh, one's coming in. One's coming in. Front door just opened. Really? Got him. Another one coming in. I'm gonna go upstairs real quick. Oh! Upstairs. Wow! Two upstairs, bro, to the left. Don't be careful. Forgot about that. Wow, straight camping it though. Yeah, this one does suck, man. I need to change my gun, but it's okay. I did all right. Just wish I had like an AR or submachine gun, really. Something I'm familiar with. Stay alive, young daddy. Yeah, guys, I tried. You know, right now I got to see what's going on here with my RAM. Thank you so much for the follow, guys. Gotta figure this out here for the most part. Yeah. No, yeah, it's a light machine gun. I mean, it's a very slow gun. It sucks in that point, but I mean, I tried. It's my first round, guys. First round. You know, I never played Warzone, so I forgot how to play this game in general. Like I did a regular multiplayer match last night and didn't even do that good. A little rusty. Alright, let's see here. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Young Daddy's going at it, guys. Young Daddy is going at it. How do I check my, Why does it keep showing 3840 by 2160? I don't want that. Maybe this will run better, I don't know. $1920 by 1017, that's close enough. Yeah, I don't know why I was doing the other one. So weird. Okay, let's figure this out here, guys. I could just actually, let's see here, do this.
Keep the pressure on.
Do it like this. This should probably help a lot better.
Only 10 remain.
No, Young Daddy.
They lose the proper teacher.
Don't worry. So what is the amount of players joining this anyway? Oh, why did this kick me off? Holy shoot. Hold on, guys. That was weird. 150? Ouch.
Hello? You did more than left the party. You bailed on me, you little ASO bitch.
And yeah, bro, there was two upstairs. I didn't even know if you even heard me said that. I felt bad. I was like, damn, there was two to the left upstairs. I'm like, ah.
I took them both out. Did you see that? No, you probably didn't even get to see anything.
Give me 1 second. What happened with the where's the
Oh,
whole
I have been.
what? No, you're not.
Yeah, I gotta get off for a minute. A little bit.
Okay, no problem, no problem.
I'm just at work, so I have to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel...
I might be back. I should be. Do a couple things for about. Probably be back in like 20-30 minutes.
Okay, well, just in case, bro. Like I said, just make sure you get your bleeding edge ready, just in case. I hop on that. I'm not sure yet. Try out this
Well, I
Warzone.
can't download it. I'm on a hotspot right now.
Oh, that's why you should be on Project X Cloud, bro. Who the hell downloads anymore? Just cloud it.
I agree. It's just I applied.
Come on, man.
For iPhones and I didn't get accepted. So.
Oh, well, iPhone was announced that it was being accepted, but I think they're only allowed to play Halo. That's it. That's the only games they can play
Yeah,
currently.
just Halo and
Yeah.
it's very limited. All right, bro.
All right, man. Go ahead and back out of that Xbox party there, guys. All right, let me see what's going on here, because I'm looking right now, and we're using a lot of RAM usage here, guys. Microphone. I need to rearrange this microphone. in my way. Hmm. Guess I could do it like that, right? That should help. Yeah, that should be better. How am I gonna play it? I have it on Xbox. I don't have it on PC though. It doesn't matter. It's crossplay anyway. So I actually ended up doing. Oh no, I can't play it on Xbox. Thanks, Jay, for saying all that. I wish Project X was actually on PC now. We would be good. But okay. Anyway, I'm gonna do training real quick just to kind of get a better feel of this game, so we get a better understanding of everything. Oh, it's not? Really?
Warzone training. In Warzone, every operator is equipped with an armored vest. Grab an armor plate from the table.
Let me double check. Until the 24th? Oh, I didn't even know. Thanks, Jay, for bringing that up. I didn't even know. I'm going to check real quick here.
Pick up the armor.
Oh, they did took it off. They must have just recently took it off because it was just on here. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right, Jay. Never mind, guys. Completely ignore all that. The beta test is over. No.
Grab some armor plates.
All right, so we got 2 armor plates. All right. So we're gonna put some armor on here real quick.
Good work.
All right.
Proceed to the next area. Hit all targets. Nicely done. Switch to your rifle.
How did I do that? Oh. I'll switch to my rifle.
Well done, mate. Mount your weapon on a piece of cover.
All right. Let's do this again.
Approach some cover.
Okay.
Aim down your sights and mount your weapon on the cover. Now the target is mounted. The sound of the armor breaking. You hear that? That means the armor's gone. Mounting stabilizes your weapon. It's good for mid to long distance engagements. Proper job, well done. One of the best tools you have available is the TAC map. On the TAC map, you'll find optional missions known as contracts. Complete contracts to earn rewards for your team. Nicely done. Find and accept the contract.
All right. Am I supposed to shoot these guys?
Supply box located. Move to secure. Proceed to the next area.
Okay.
This contract's contract has marked supply boxes on the map for you. Nicely done. Next objective located. Take any loot you want. Otherwise, I've got to clean this mess up myself. Notice supply boxes make a distinct sound when you run.
Okay.
Nice. Your loot finding skills are remarkable. Proceed to the next area.
Yeah, that's fine, Jay. Yeah, go ahead and Discord to me that for that, and then for something I gotta download it later. Wow, how many shots for that? Oh, I gotta shoot him in the head. Oh, we get shield turret. We get the armor plate. We're going to just take these. Guess it's worth it.
Locate more cash. Proper job, well done.
Oh.
Cash can be used at buy stations, like kill streaks and other special items. Buy stations are marked on the tac map. Good work.
Oh, look at that.
Buy stations allow you to bring teammates back from the dead, purchase kill streaks and more. Purchase a loadout drop marker. Look inside the building for cash.
Whoops. Whoops.
Look inside the building for cash. Cash
But-
and loot are found inside buildings. Look inside the building for cash. Use the buy station and find a loadout drop marker.
Big mistake on my part.
Purchase a loadout drop marker.
Oh, that was the new radar system that they added for the police cars now, Jay. It's pretty cool.
Nicely done. Now call in a loadout drop and stand clear of the smoke.
What is this?
Throw out the loadout drop marker.
I think I kind of see what this is. Okay. All right. How'd you end up finding that? That's
Call in a
interesting.
loadout drop.
Okay. Loadout drop. How do I do that? Oh, that's like our loadout ticket. Okay.
Loadout drops allow you to select a full loadout. A loadout drop is the only way to get perks and certain weapon attachments in Warzone Battle Royale.
They're not the loadouts I had. Okay.
Well done, mate.
I gotta adjust those.
Try some more equipment or move to the next area when you're ready.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, Kruger, hit the deck. When your teammates are down, you can revive them if you're close.
Okay.
Spot on.
How's the game running, guys? Is it running pretty good? Yeah, I think it's running a lot better than usual, which is good.
You can ping anything in the world for your team. Ping an armor plate for your team.
Oh, left alt.
Thank you.
Body armor here.
Solid work.
Moving. Disregard last. Body armor here.
Pick a spot and mark its location. Nicely done.
Understood.
Well done, mate.
Understood.
Also ping hostile areas for your team. Target says hostile.
Copy that.
Well done, mate.
Copy that.
Yeah, reset all my loadouts in this mode. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. I don't like that it's left alt.
Body armor here.
Targets for your team.
Body armor here. Disregard
Done.
last. Moving.
Spot on.
Body
Let's
armor
move
here.
on.
Danke.
There's another way you can help your team. You could drop items in your inventory for your team. This is called teamwork. Be careful with teamwork. You might win. Well done, mate. Sprint to extraction. Next job's waiting.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Oh, I got a reward too. Yay. Operator skin cannot be equipped. Alright, we'll go ahead and take that for sure. Want to jump into battle? Battle Royale practice. Play Battle Royale. Play Plunder. Don't even know what that is. Quit to main menu. We'll do main menu. Okay. Sure. I don't know. All right. Okay, so now if I do Warzone, it just takes me straight to the lobby now. I get it. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now then. All right, guys. I might just I don't know. I might put my cartoon character up and just keep the mic off. I'm not sure yet. I'll keep you guys updated. All right, so let me see. Yeah, let me actually just go ahead and do that for now.
Grab some target practice while you can. We're deploying soon. Playtime's over, mate. You're going to the war zone.
All right, we're jumping in now, guys.
Battle Royale. Set a drop point for your team, soldier. Gas is approaching your position. Move to the safe zone.
Alright, let's try to win this one, I guess.
Time to earn your freedom, soldier.
Whatever.
You're heading back to base. Your team can still buy you back if they have the cash. Holding for deployment. Now's a good time to warm up.
I'll drive.
Enough practice. Time for the real thing.
The game crashed? Wow. It's not good that you crashed, bro.
Mark a drop point for your team. You'll lead them in. Gas is closing on your position. Just get moving. How about that? Clear to engage all targets.
Alright, we need to find a weapon here, guys. Better than what the hell we had.
Enemy personal radar in the air.
Wow, he jumped off and got me, okay.
This is the Gulag. Survive and you can redeploy. Fight starting. You're up next, mate. Get ready. Win here and you return to the front line. You lose, you fight.
Alright, let's try to win this one, guys. We got this.
Time to earn your freedom, soldier.
Wait.
You gave him a proper score.
There we go. Alright guys, grab some stuff here. Gotta get some things going on here for us. Thank you, thank you. Oh, finally we're doing something good, right? Alright, let's double check these buildings here, see what we got inside. Thank
Okay,
goodness.
we're inside. Scan for movement.
Alright, let's keep looking around, guys, see what else we can find. Yeah, we gotta get you back in here, bro. Alright, 45 people. Alright, we gotta be cautious here. Wait, is my teammate under attack? Let's see what else we got here, guys. Looks like we got something going on here. Oh, he's got a crate. I'm gonna let him grab that one. Ooh, I'm gonna go ahead and go up top. What is the place? Oh, I'm about to say, I thought this was the area people had the fights at, but never mind. Definitely not. Alright, okay, so Jay, what happened, bro? You just had like a random crash or what? What's going on there, bro? What happened? That's not good, man. The game running smooth for you guys? I'm not sure if it's... We're in the ring, guys, so that's good. Hold on. Yeah, we can do Discord. That's fine. I'll probably be muting myself a lot though, Jay. So I don't know. I'll see. I don't know what's wrong with my mic today. It's picking up way too much background. I have to readjust everything on it. Like OBS is fine, but Discord picks up way too much. What's this? Why not? We'll go with this one. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna go ahead and meet you in the VIP. Oh, is my teammate under attack? What the hell's going on here? Oh my god, what's with my DPI, man? Come on.
Loadout drop inbound.
Oh. Man, he's threw it away. Oh.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Actually, these are my loadouts from multiplayer. Oh, it worked actually. Wow. And I got my RPG. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, we have to be nice and easy on this one, though. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, guys. All I know is we're still in the ring, so that's good. What the hell's wrong with my... Why is my RAM so high? I think I need to restart my computer, guys. I should have restarted my PC before I went live.
Okay, we're inside. Scan for movement. Going in. Disregard last. Moving here. Cancel my last.
Whoa, almost got myself killed, guys.
Claymore set.
Enemy UAV overhead. closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Alright, let's see what else we have around here, guys. Freaking war zone out there. Oh!
Rocket away! Claymore set.
Got no bullets, really? Oh, I'm in big trouble now, guys. No bullets, man.
Right, soldier. Mark a drop point for your team. Victory rests on your shoulders. Finish the mission.
Oh.
Hey, stand here back, inbound.
Yeah, no, it's not very good. It's a waste, bro. I saw the sniper.
We lost that one.
Wow.
Next time.
Damn it, man. I wish I had more of a long range. Oh, well, I'm getting... Alright, let's get on with the next round then. Wait, how the heck do I back out of this? Yeah, leave every time? That's annoying. They want you to sit there. Alright, let me go ahead and get Jay back in here, guys. Alright. Alright, let's see. Wow, I can't unmute my Discord. Wow, my hotkey doesn't work for Discord. I have to literally exit out of the game and then tap it.
Oh wow, that sucks.
That's annoying, bro. Like, cause oh shit, I guess my background's not the only thing.
Yeah, that's bad.
Especially with this virus outbreak going on, everybody's pretty close together nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Alright. Well, let's see here. Yeah, bro, I'm still getting used to this Warzone thing, and I'm still trying to understand it. Like, I get it now. I still got to do a little bit more with the shop. I like the respawn system. I think the respawn system's kind of cool. Get a little 1v1 in. That is actually pretty cool, I will admit. But honestly though, like, I think this is better than Black Ops 4's Battle Royale. The Black Ops 4 version was really
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry to say, but even though this game ticks everybody off, they actually pulled it off pretty well. All right.
The only thing I can say good about this game is this battle royale is actually pretty decent.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That is crazy. All right. Okay, before we get queued up and everything, it looked like my loadout actually worked.
Yeah, it works once you get it set up.
Where's my...
I have my loadout. I have a sniper rifle all the time.
Yeah.
And one thing you probably want to put on your guns is the like infrared scopes. 'Cause
Well,
they're the
let's remember, I never really did Warzone, so most of my classes were kind of designed for cyber attack or whatnot. But now that we have extra classes, this is my chance to make Warzone classes. So I can keep my
Yeah, 'cause
regular
the-
multiplayer.
The thermal sniper scope is like the best because you can see where the person's at. And you could just sit there and be on
Yeah.
a roof and just sniping people.
All right. I'm gonna do custom loadout 8. We're gonna do give me 1 second, bro. Hold on.
Okay.
All right, so let's take a look and see what we got here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and make a class. I'm gonna go ahead and make a assault rifle. Which one do I use? I think it's the F4A1, right? Progression is going to be the same as multiplayer. Is that? Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do the F4A1 because I have a good amount of attachments on it. So let me just stick with that. Gunsmith. Okay, same thing. I don't think aim down sight's gonna really be that huge of a factor in this mode because you're not really encountering enemies as much.
Yeah.
This is more probably about stability and accuracy. So let's go ahead. Okay, first let's start with the scope optic. Damn, I ain't got all of them yet. What is this? Advance. Which one was the infrared? Oh, it'll say it, right?
Thermal.
NVG.
Scope,
You said thermal.
anything that has anything that has thermal. They're the best.
Of course, I don't have it.
Do you have it in your sniper?
The only thing I have is the NVG in hand. It's probably ones I don't have unlocked yet. Okay, for sniper, you're right. I could probably make this one a sniping class first. Ooh, snipers? Ugh. AX50 is the only one I have leveled up pretty high. Let's go with that one.
That's the best one.
Okay, optic. Yes, I do got a thermal. Okay, not compatible with night vision. Well, obviously. All right, let's get the thermal on that bad boy.
Yeah, I used the thermal the other night on this guy. I sniped him 3 times, all headshots. And I couldn't kill him because he was behind this pillar, so I couldn't hit him anymore. I'd knock him down, but I couldn't.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It was frustrating, but it was funny though. I just kept pinpointing his head every time, like bam, headshot.
Yeah.
On him one time, then his teammates were right next to him, so he got revived.
I want to go silencer, but then I don't because I don't want to give my position away. It seems like ammo was very scarce. Let's see here. This one gives me more range. I'm obviously gonna go with that. Yeah, I'm gonna lose aim down sight, but I don't care at this moment.
Yeah, I got both of my guns silenced.
I'm gonna go. Let me see.
Because the less people you attract, the less fights you have to get into. This game teams like want to kill that one team, and then they have to fight the other team.
All right, let me see what else I want to put on here. Lightweight suppressor. It'll give me less range, but gives me more accuracy. Oh, this one's actually pretty good. Monolithic, whatever the hell it's called. I want the tactical man, but I can't get it, so I'm just gonna go with this one. 2.4.
Yeah, I used a monolithic suppressor.
All right, let me see.
I just told my game don't crash again.
Alright, so I made sure I got some good control and some good range on my sniper, so this should help me out a lot. And I did some slight extra damage on it too, so that way make up for the suppressor. So let's see. That should be good. Man, every time I customize, bro, there's so much stuff I have. It's annoying. Like, I hate that green box. That green box, I have this like OCD where it's gotta stop flashing.
Yeah, I know mine too. Is I had like 3 things. I was like, I don't even use these weapons, but they're ticking. And like, okay, I guess I have to go through all these things because I actually use those weapons in the battle royale mode. So I unlocked something.
Right? Hey, driving me crazy with that. Alright, secondary. RPG's a waste of time. Handguns might come in useful.
You need a machine gun and something like 2 machine gun mostly, or a machine gun and maybe a shotgun.
Yeah, because this ain't gonna work. I need to go with that one perk.
Yeah, the
Why is it giving me
RPG.
why is it giving me like a tutorial? What the heck is going on here?
I don't. Because with one shell, it's not good. You could find other bullets for it, but it's really hard to find them.
Okay. Alright, so I made one of the classes here so far.
So,
Alright, let's see what else we have. Alright, so I did the primary weapon, I did the AX-50, and I got the M1 as a sub machine gun. So that way now at least I have like close to mid-range with that, and I'll have long range with the sniper. Honestly, I'll just do the one loadout for now. I don't want to waste too much. Did you get all yours already figured out, or?
yeah, I got like one main load.
Yeah, I made one main one for now, so it's all good. 'Cause most of the time people are kind of far away anyway, so I'm just gonna have to learn to use that thermal. I know it was a little difficult in multiplayer, but I can imagine it being beneficial in this mode. Alright, let's do it. Oh wait, actually first. Ah man, you know it's funny, bro. Everybody was on earlier, right? Everybody wanted me to get on. As soon as I get on, no one's on.
Yeah, that's what happens.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think most of the game is you have to have a sniper and then some like machine gun, some kind of submachine gun or something. That's basically all you're gonna be doing is sniping or have to use a machine gun.
Yeah, that is crazy.
You
All
don't
right.
see too many people using shotguns.
Yeah, well, we're getting used to it though. We'll be fine. How come I don't hear the game? Oh,
There's only like 2 shotguns in the game.
So this is more just like a duo. Like, is that what this is? Like, how many people can play Battle Royale?
It goes up to 150, but it's 3 per.
150. Holy crap! I didn't even know that.
And they also have solos too, so 150 people in a solo, that'd be crazy.
Wow, you know they did that on purpose. They intentionally put 150 just to do more with every other Battle Royale does.
Yeah, they just want to overdo it. Like, oh yeah, let's make it more people, so it takes longer.
It does. It is kind of time. And I like this like beginning.
Yeah, that's cool how they do the beginning thing where pretty much every game did that though, didn't they? Where you can sit there and just kill each other. You get XP for it though.
I got your back, Jim. I got the one that killed you, bro.
That was.
Got that one. This AK sucks, dude.
Ooh.
Enough practice. Time for the real thing.
That's funny. Bro, what's with the CPU spikes in this game, dude? Like, it runs so great on Xbox, but then on PC, it's like it's intentionally poorly optimized it.
Yeah, they did.
That's crazy.
And they don't even seem like they want to fix it either. They just keep adding more stuff to it. Like, let's add more stuff to the game's
Alright, soldier.
400 or 500 gigabytes by the time you.
Avoid the gas. Get to the safe zone.
Yeah, that's true, bro. That is. Oh, where did you want to jump to? Right there. All right, let's go. All right, let's do this. Showtime. And I like the jumping too, bro. The whole like they really. It's interesting. It is very interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like cut your parachute and. Go fast.
Your primary objective is
Is this all us on here? Watch the ammo here. All right, we gotta check around, see what else we can find here.
Sometimes
Yeah, so the roof is not good loot or what?
Contact!
You die.
Contact!
Yep. Enemy contact. Oh shoot. I'm gonna head downstairs. Pretty big areas though, but and at least you know what though? At least there's actually buildings with multiple floor levels. You know, you get tired of battle royales where it's just like 1 or 2 story buildings and it's like very limited. Like there's not really much going on. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I know they're just kind of like combining the.
Yeah. Played.
Where was he? Came at you, bro, but you're gone. You're fully dead. Shoot.
Your teammate was sent to the gulag. They'll fight for a chance to redeploy.
Can't find anything.
Gotta survive it, bro. Go ahead and win that 1v1.
Your teammate's done in. They're returning to base.
Did you win?
His team made it.
I'll check around here.
Losing ground.
I can't hear you, bro. You're like cutting out.
I was lucky though. He had a machine from 2 big shotgun.
Assault rifle here.
He just kicked me for the whole game.
I kicked you from the whole game?
Yep, it said the server disconnected from Blizzard and it kicked me.
Oh my god, don't tell me he's gonna do that again, bro. Today has been running fine. Yeah, I think it's on your end. Yesterday I had that problem too. I couldn't even play yesterday. I was so mad.
Move up.
Yeah, they had the Blizzard server was completely down.
Yeah, supposedly they were DDoS or something.
Yeah, I think they got hacked or something maybe. They probably, their internet got the coronavirus.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, I mean, this mode is not bad because, like, there's a lot to the world. I mean, I know there's, like, some things taken out because it is a battle royale. But it still looks pretty nice.
want you here.
Some stuff that need to be.
They were here not long ago.
RPG, I'm good. Hmm. Oh, I can't mute Discord. That's annoying. Oh god. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty cool. It's different. You know, Neil, what's going on, bro? Did I get disconnected? Oh my god. I'm done. You know, I think nowadays it's safe to say any AAA title, just get the console. Don't even waste your time with the PC version. Always an issue. So your Blizzard launcher is acting up too, correct? Nah, it actually shows I'm on. It actually shows I'm online. I think it's just a war zone. I don't even hear you on Discord no more, Jay. Yeah, it's pretty bad, Neo. I don't know what's going on. Yesterday, I know this was a big problem. I seen people playing with no problem. I did update it on Xbox, so if it comes down to it, guys, I'll just play it on Xbox if I have to. You know,
Like higher, but
you said what? No, now I hear you. Yeah, the Blizzard seems to be working fine. I still see like my friends list looking good. I still see my online status, my avatar. I wasn't able to see this yesterday when this problem occurred. Yeah, bro, I can't hear you. You're cutting out bad.
yeah, that game, the server's down again. Looks like
On Blizzard or Call of Duty?
Blizzard. I
Huh.
keep saying the Blizzard thing because I just tried getting back in there and it said Blizzard is down.
Oh my god, Blizzard is down. Come on, man. Really? Blizzard? Like the company that charges games like Overwatch and monthly subscriptions for like World of Warcraft, and you're telling me your servers are down? Come on, man.
Nobody's at work.
Nobody's at work. They're all home. They're working at home. Wow.
Yeah, this is.
Of course this would happen.
Well, gotta find a different game to play. It looks like.
Just wow. You know, I had everything all set up for this. Like, it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
You know, Xbox Live had issues not too long ago. Yeah, I'm gonna look this up real quick. Give me a second. Let me see. Let me make sure this is the same issue. Blizzard server status, blah blah blah. Let's take a look. 317. What's today? 18. That was yesterday. Well, here's the Twitter that they had. I guess. Let's see what they said. The same post as yesterday, so this might just be a new reoccurrence that they have no idea about. Wait, running a virus scan, a spyware scan can help keep your system secure. Blah blah blah. No, it ain't us. It's you, bro. Fix your stuff. We're currently monitoring a DDoS attack against network providers, which is affecting latency connections to our games.
Wonder how many people just got kicked out the game because their servers went down.
Oh yeah, no, they're mad. It's funny.
I have 5 people playing Call of Duty right now on my followers, and they probably all got kicked.
Oh, let's.
Because every one of them plays on a PC too, so.
Typically, this error is caused by the Blizzard services being in maintenance. However, in some cases, it can be caused by connection issues. Before trying any of the following steps, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Well,
some people are playing it. What the heck?
yeah, it's I don't understand.
Why did they kick us?
It put me back on, but I'm scared it's gonna kick us out again. Let's give it a second. The last post they had was 5 hours ago, so obviously this is either just something temporary. No,
I tried to get back in there and it was still down. But there's other people playing it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it shows me it now, but I'm scared. Well, let's see how long it stays on. If it cuts off one more time, I'm done. Because I know yesterday I wasted a long time in hopes to think that it was coming back. Just didn't come.
And then after you gave up onto it, like 20 minutes later, it came back online.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Honestly, bro, I just been going to bed early. Like, I don't know. This whole like pandemic thing is just depressing. I don't know. I always complained that I wanted to stay home, play video games more, and now that I am home, I don't want to be home. All right, shows that I'm connected. Like I said, bro, worst comes to worst. I really don't feel like playing it on Xbox. I practiced on the controller a lot better, I guess, but if not, we could do different servers. We just can't do no Blizzard games.
Yeah, it just gave me the same error when
Yeah.
I just tried getting on again.
Yeah, well, I got in, but I'm pretty sure if you're still getting it, it's probably gonna boot me out eventually. So, you know what? Let me do this. Let me actually look at their server status. Hold on. It'll give us like the outage on their thing. Let's take a look here. Problems at battleblizzard.net. Last 24 hours. This one was... What time is it? Oh, it's only 10 o'clock for me, but I don't know what their time is. Oh, this was talking about... Yeah, bro. Oof. Their time zone's a bit different than ours, so I gotta think, see. Alright.
It says problems at blizzard.net on March 18th, so they're still having issues.
Mm-hmm. They're having login issues and server connection issues.
So, yep,
Yeah, it just got disconnected. Yeah, they're done. Alright, if you're getting DDoS by like regular people and you guys are like AAA companies making all this money and you don't have the proper technicians for this, then that means you're just either being cheap or you just don't care. So
they just don't care.
screw these guys. Call of Duty made a big mistake signing an agreement anyway with the Blizzard. I mean, honestly, they should have just went to damn Steam. I don't understand why they went to Blizzard. Like either Blizzard paid Call of Duty or whatever. I don't know, but this whole exclusive thing with launchers is retarded. I hate it.
Oh, me too.
You should be able to choose a launcher. I don't like dedicated launchers. Like Red Dead Redemption, you gotta have Rockstar launcher. No, screw that then. I'm not gonna do it. I'll wait for Steam. It's dumb, man.
It's coming out for Steam now too.
Oh, it is? Yeah, I just don't want to pay $60. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah,
Because honestly,
so-
I ain't gonna play the story. I mean, the multiplayer anyway. Honestly, I'm not gonna get into it. I know I won't. I know 5M has Red Dead Redemption 2, but it's not there yet. It's still so early that there's nothing really good about it quite. All right, so Blizzard's having mad issues. I'm just gonna go ahead and quit this.
the multiplayer looks kind of cool. I've been watching people play it. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it looks okay. I just think like cowboy games just don't really have that long-term playability. I don't know. I mean, I did enjoy one. I thought it was great. But after a while, it just kind of... But then again, I played it for 360, I think. I think that's what it was. Yeah,
it was
so
on 360. Yep.
it wasn't really the best thing really at that time.
And it looks so much better right now. I've been watching people play it, and it looks amazing compared to the first one.
I know, man. It does look
The
awesome.
gameplay, the story mode, the whole thing just looks.
Well, I
so
heard the
much better.
PC version had mad issues. Like, that's another thing I'm scared about. So, I don't know. I'm waiting for patches and bug fixes, and then if not, I'll just get it for Xbox One. If it comes on Game Pass, or which I probably sure won't because it's Rockstar. Or if it comes it comes like half off, I'll just get it on Xbox. Screw it, whatever. I'm just gonna play the story anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they fixed a lot of the issues that was on PC, but of course that's not going to stay forever because they do have issues all the time with PC games. So. Oh wow, you could have 50 people viewing your live on Discord now. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. They're doing that because of the coronavirus.
I found a website last night. Somebody was talking about that you could pay people to play games with you because nobody's able to actually go do anything. So they made this website just for that.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it for sure. Hmm.
Did you get that Tales of Escape game?
Was it like a beta or something?
It's just a regular game. It's like an escape game where you work with a teammate. It could be multiplayer or single player.
What was it? Steam?
Steam, yeah. It's a small game too. It'll probably take like 5 minutes to download. And it's free.
Because I give up on Call of Duty, man. At least until this outbreak is over. Because obviously they don't know how to keep their servers up. So honestly, I hate Blizzard. I don't even play no Blizzard game except for the Call of Duty because it's on their stupid launcher and it's annoying. I wish I never had to download it for that.
Oh yeah.
I don't play any other their games. I mean, Overwatch did look cool, but I didn't get it because I didn't want Blizzard launcher.
Yeah.
And Blizzard Call of Duty was another way to get more people into their community. And you bring Call of Duty players, yeah, you're gonna get DDoS because that's just what Call of Duty players do when they get mad. They DDoS people.
Yep.
I remember Xbox 360, bro. Oh my god, people be like just straight up yell DDoS, DDoS, DDoS. I'm gonna hack you. You know, I hacks. Like, really? Why would you advertise that? Like, wouldn't you want to be anonymous about it? Like, why would you tell people what you're doing? You don't say it, you just do it.
Yeah, dude, just stay hidden.
Yeah, people are stupid. And then and I love when they do it without VPN too. They just do it with their like static IP, and it's like, okay, stupid, you're dumb.
Real smart.
Yeah, just
like advertising, come arrest me.
it's like holding your social security card number up in the air, like, hey, it was me. I'm the one who did it. It's like, okay, well, thank you, sir, for coming with us. All right, yeah, you definitely want that encryption. You want to hide your IP, but hey, it is what it is. What was it called? Tales of the what?
Tales of Escape.
I don't see it. Tales of Escape?
Yep, Tales of Escape.
Oh, I see it.
It's kind of like those escape room games where you have to work with somebody to try to get out of this room you're locked in.
It's free to play. You can't go wrong with it. Looks like they got a lot of like DLC rooms or whatever, but they do want to charge, so nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It better not be one of those like one map and that's it. Like, it's probably what they're gonna do. But if it's free, you can't complain either. So
yeah. There's some other ones that were like $3 or $4 that was kind of the same way, but they had more maps too.
yeah, yeah, that sucks, bro. You know, it's funny because it was working all day today, and then when I get on, is when the problem occurs, and it's at this time of night all the time.
Mm-hmm. Where everybody's playing at this time of night.
It's ridiculous.
Because people that do still work get off probably around this time of night, so they get on the games.
Honestly, at this rate, I might as well just stay on Xbox with Call of Duty. Just gonna have to suck it up and get back to the controller because I played every Call of Duty on console anyway. This was the only one I finally bought for PC, and then this happens.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have just got it for PC, but of course I didn't buy it, so yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't my choice.
All right. Well, it's downloading. I'm gonna let it do that, and